those of you who've never seen the greatest the world has ever revered, I'd like to introduce myself.
Yeah, I just got it, I just got it, yeah, I just got it, word.
Hi, so what is the people? This is Rahul back with another video. Now, it's been a while since I made a video of this kind. This is gonna be a review video of my brand new KTM Duke 250 after riding it for almost 3000 kilometers. I have completed my first service, and this is gonna be the true, real, and raw review for this particular bike. And I'm going to tell you all the issues that I've faced, all the issues that came along with the bike, the pros of it, the cons of it, without any filter. And this video is going to be trilingual. I'm going to switch between English, Kannada, and Hindi whenever and very well I feel comfortable. Okay, so alright, without further ado, let's begin. So here is the bike itself in its full flesh, and the first and foremost things that I'm going to cover here is the looks itself. And from just the standpoint of looks, this looks phenomenal, and especially this comes in three variants: the black color, then there is white and orange, and then there is blue. So I bought this one in black because black looks perfect and it's phenomenal. And mainly I love these new trunk shrouds that they have provided. Right, these ones right here, they look sharp and they provide a beautiful and masculine view to the bike, right? And this is not much that pronounced as there is in Duke 390. Duke 390 is much more wild. It looks bit disproportionate compared to the tank and the body itself, but on 250 these shroud extenders, the tank shrouds, the tank panels looks perfectly and in a proportionate manner. So looks wise this looks good, and also the offset monoshock absorber adds to the muscular feel of it. This bike, one thing that I really wanted this bike to borrow from its previous generation was its exhaust. That was a full-blown exhaust system, but this one gets an underbelly exhaust. And this does have its pros, like it can reduce a bit of load. Yeah, still that's on the looks part of it. Now let's move on to the engine. So this one gets a 249.07 cc liquid cooled LC4C engine that you can see right here. I'm not going to bore you with all the specifications and stuff. Just know that this pulls clean and this pulls perfectly, and it has enough torque and enough power to keep you engaged in straight lines as well as corners, right? And that's on the engine front. Now let's talk about the issues that I've faced, right, before first service and even after first service. Major concerns were of vibes, which used to show up from time to time, majorly on the left foot pegs and left handlebar, which I thought they would calm down a bit after first service, but that was not the case. And also mileage used to be good before first service, so I used to get around 35 km per liter, but as you can see right now after first service it's showing 33, right? And it has many reasons for the same, because it depends upon how you ride the bike, whether you are aggressive with the throttle, whether you are calm, and whether you are riding in the right gear and right RPM. That can give you good amount of mileage. Still, vibes have gotten a bit more vibier, especially on the left side part of the bike. I am talking about the left side foot pegs and the left side handlebar. So these give out much vibrations, especially in 5000 rpm, in at 5000 rpm, which is supposed to be the calm cruising rpms of this bike. When you go past 7000 rpm, engine tends to calm down a bit, and it does give out a loud, vibrant exhaust note that is lovely. Also, the vibes tend to calm down after 7000 rpm, and then they again pick up at around when you pass 8000, 8500 rpm. This review is going to be haphazard, and there are going to be points all over the place because I have not written a script, or this is just raw, real, and right on the spot. Okay, so please bear with me. Now that I have had the vibration issue mentioned, I will move on to the another issue that I am facing on this particular bike, that is false neutrals. See, whenever I'm shifting from third to second and then second to first, in case of whenever I face a road bump, and I tend to slow down, then shift from higher gear to the lower gear, it kind of finds itself the false neutrals more number of times than I would like it. And what next? Well, there is another issue. This one doesn't get a proper mudguard, which means this is a dust magnet. See, as you can see right now, I have just traveled around maybe 5-6 kilometers, and this is the situation the bike is in. It is going to carry all the mud, all the dust, and then deposit over this place right here, right? And it's kind of irritating, to say the least, to clean it every once in a while. This bike needs proper maintenance and proper cleanliness every once in a while, to say the least, at least once every week. So this bike is pure black, right? This is painted in black, so it collects dust just sitting. Okay, so there is another point I need to mention. I mentioned about the mudguard. There is no proper mudguard here, and it's also a dust magnet. Then what else? Vibrations done. So also these wheels, so these wheels get a lot of dirt accumulated in them just by riding around the town. And also there is knocking issue, which I forgot to mention. Whenever you are cruising at lower speeds in higher gears, this bike does knock, this engine does knock, and you need to be in perfectly good gear and good rpm in order for this bike to not knock. So I would go far as to say the second gear in this bike is totally useless, because after you go over 2000 or 2500 rpm, it kinds of screams, engine screams, and it is only suitable for say 10 to 15 kilometers of speed, and when you are just getting by in the city. All right, so I need to mention about the grip that these MRF steel braced radials provide in the corners. They are absolutely awesome in the corners. They provide great feedback, and you can easily tip this bike into the corners at any speeds that you feel comfortable at that particular corner, and it will just hold that line perfectly and graciously. So yeah, these wheels are perfect, these tires are perfect, and I almost I have ridden this in the dry part, so dry season of the year. So I don't know how they will perform in the wet, but so far no complaints. So the first service of this bike was done around 900 kilometers. They just changed the oil filter, the oil, and that's all. Nothing special about it. So as I said earlier, I expected the vibes to come down a bit and calm down a bit, but that didn't really happen. So it is what it is. So another issue that I forgot to mention is the chain noise that this bike gives out. So this chain right here is very noisy. It does prove a bit irritating if you are riding without the riding gear, that is if you are not wearing helmet. It might uh, feel a bit irritating. Even if you lube it, even if you clean it, even if you maintain it, it's gonna give out a lot of noise. So I have asked other KTM owners about it. They do have the same issue. So let's cover it up. Final thoughts. Who this bike is for? This bike is for anyone and everyone who wants to ride a KTM and who is keen on getting a KTM that's not too overpriced in the sense compared to its CC. So if you are looking at 125cc, there is KTM to 125, right? Duke 125, and that's, I don't think it's a good value for money in that proposition. And if you go up the ladder, then there is Duke 390. I think that is overpowered for a guy who is moving from a commuter or upgrading from a commuter. That's too much overpowered. I don't think I will recommend that to anyone. So this is the sweet middle spot, the Duke 250. And so I bought this bike after listening to a lot of reviews. I liked the bike itself before anyone could say anything. That's the first point. Then I looked at reviews. Shumi from Motoring said this is a good beginner bike. That was one thing. Then there is Sagar Sheldakar. So yeah, he also had good things about this bike, and these two people mostly influenced how I came to while buying this bike. I also had other options like Triumph Speed 400, which comes in the similar range, similar price point, but it's of 400cc. So I thought it would be overpowered for my skill set. So I stuck with Duke 250. So far, no issues, no complaints, and only one final complaint, mildly irritating, is that you cannot do any household chores on this bike. So it has a tank here, you cannot place anything over here. If you want to carry a bag, there is no place for it. You have to tie it on the back seat using these handlebars, using these grippers, and then take the thread through here and tie it. So that's about it. All in all, a good bike, a great bike. Just needs a lot more maintenance than other Japanese or counterparts require. Yep, that's it. Let's round it up. So this is my review of KTM Duke 250 after riding it for almost 3000 kilometers. I hope this has provided you a bit of insights into what I'm facing right now on this bike and all the issues that you should keep in mind if you are choosing Duke 250. So if I have missed anything and if I remember anything that I should have added, I would add that in the comment section of this video. So make sure to check it out and also the description of this video. And yep, thanks for watching. This is Rahul signing out. Peace.